What up, B Squad? It is your boy JB, and I am back, you guys, with a brand new episode review of The Real Housewives of Orange County, Season 18, Episode 2. This episode was titled Rent and Reputations, you guys. And when I tell you guys that I laughed at the last few minutes of this episode, my God, today I hollered. But yeah, like I said, before we get into it, if you guys are watching this, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, stop taking me out on this date, and having me pay for it at the end of it. And you can do all this wonderful stuff for me, like I stated before, liking, subscribing, and commenting on the video. Now, let's go ahead and get into OC, you guys. And I do want to give a little quick update. So I know that I have not uploaded Sisters, I haven't done Dubai. You guys know that I was previously for my birthday. I was in Miami, so that's why everything is a little off schedule right now. But we're back, and I'm gonna after I do this live, I'm gonna record Dubai, upload Dubai. Sisters, you guys will see that tomorrow, and then let's get into the blogs and they cutting the fool. I will have that up for you guys tomorrow as well. And also a new episode of Family Empire Houston. So all of that stuff will be up on Saturday. So let's get into this episode of Orange County. Orange County, what I have to say is, my God, so far, so good. Enjoying what I'm seeing from the Orange County girls because, for the last few seasons, Orange County has been lacking. But these first two episodes, if this is what the season's going to be looking like from these first two episodes, then I am absolutely 100% here for it. So we'll start up with where we ended last week. So last week we ended at Heather's party, right? And you had Shannon and Alexis talking to each other, right? I didn't catch it in the episode that when Alexis told Shannon that what was the saying that she said to her? There's the door, Shannon Bador. I was like, girl, that is so corny. But okay, if that's how Alexis wants to go for it. But what I will say with Alexis, it just to me personally, it feels like Alexis is super duper pressed that Shannon isn't wanting to mention John at all. And so she wants to just come at Shannon. And I just don't understand it, right? So then you have Tamra. Like I said last week, Tamra is so fake because Shannon was talking about the fact that when it was announced that Alexis and John were dating, that Shannon went and liked, not Shannon, but Tamara went and liked the tweet, right? Or tweet or photo or whatever it was. So Tamara went and liked it. Shannon sent Tamara a text like WTF. Tamara texts her back telling her to grow the F up. I was like, Shannon, but here's my thing when it comes to Shannon and Tamara. I still think Tamara is still pissed off at Shannon about, what happened not last season, but the season before last when Vicky and Tamara got fired and they ended up keeping Shannon instead of Tamara and Vicky. I still feel that Tamara has some resentment from that. You can't tell me she don't. But yeah, she told her to grow the fuck up, right? And I was like, that's rich coming from you, Tamara. So then they were talking about Jen, right? It was Tamara, Heather, and Gina talking about her. What I will say is with Katie, I'm here for Katie because Katie was comedic relief, especially in this party with the side commentary, because it was hilarious to me. Because at one point I'm getting ahead of myself, but at one point when Alexis was talking, she was like, "Is she really a Christian?" Hollered. I like Katie. Now, what I will say is Jen. Hindsight is probably 2020, huh? Because you had reservations about moving in with Ryan. And I don't know if all of the stuff with Jen and Ryan is going to play out this season because you guys know that he's under, and I think he's under an FBI investigation. I think, but yeah, it's not looking good, and I'm just wondering I am just wondering, how she's feeling now. Oh wow. So here's something about Jennifer. This is from In Touch magazine. I just was Googling and seeing it says Jen agrees to pay $160,000 to settle the unpaid rent. And what I want to say about this unpaid rent with Gina, and I'll come back to it again a little bit later too. Gina, the same way that you felt about Shannon is the same thing that you're doing to Jen. You're bringing up this stuff and what you've done for her. It's essentially the same thing, Gina. I just really want you to know that. I really want you to know that. So yeah, Ryan was implicated in a $16 million theft and gambling case. Whew. I just wonder how Jen is handling this now. I'm not saying it doesn't. I mean, I know she got to be in shambles. But let's see. So then we see Jen. So Jen told Gina, that, "Hey, right now is not a good time for us to sit down and have a conversation. So let's go out. Catch up, get lunch. Do coffee." And Gina agrees because she's like, "This isn't the place to have a conversation, right?" So they all sit down, and I was actually with Gina when I saw that food on the plate on that spoon. I was like, "Girl, what is that?" I was so confused. I was with Gina. I was so be hungry. And this is the second point where her and Katie were having the side conversations. Like I say, so far with Katie, I'm liking what I see with Katie. I'm fine with Katie. I'm fine with Katie. Now I know the way Heather is doing the interviews right now, she's making it seem as if Katie came in wanting to have an issue with her. Can I see that? Kind of, sort of, right? Only thing that Katie is saying when it comes to you is that she met you before at Sutton's party and you kind of turned your back to her. I believe it. I believe it. Like, okay, let me know what you guys think, right? So then they went into, you guys know what, like when they had those big box, those see-through boxes, and they had, had money flowing around and you catch it. Well, instead of that, it's a question that you pull. So Alexis was pulled one, and it was about friendship, and she's talking about how she wants to be good with Shannon. And I was like, "Are you delusional? Like, you just had it out with Shannon outside maybe 15, 20 minutes ago, but you want to be cool with Shannon." Alexis, go away, girlfriend. Goodbye. So then Tamara pulls one, and she's talking about she talking about she don't want no more of her friends talking shit behind her back. And I was like, Tamara, you're the queen of doing that. So I don't understand what you're talking about. Like, you know what? Let's move on from Tamara. Tamara. So then Heather got in there, and hers like, what is her favorite piece of jewelry? And she said her first engagement ring, which then had Tamara's fake ass sit there to say something to Alexis about her ring. And Alexis says it's not an engagement ring, it's a promised ring. And everybody was like, "Girl, so it's a promise ring." She's like, "No, it's not a promise ring. It's a promised with a D ring." And everybody's like, "Girl, it's the same thing." Because they were like, "So what is it a promise for?" She couldn't answer the question. I was like, "Girl, girl. John Jansen. When I look at John now, he is very much so giving me Slade Smiley as well as Brooks vibes. If you guys don't know who Slade Smiley is and Brooks, go look them up. Two of the worst people that I've ever saw on Orange. Two of the worst people on Orange County that have. Yeah, Orange County. Yeah, I about to say they're the worst house husbands. Well, hell, neither one of them are husbands, but boyfriends, significant others. If I had to compile a list of the boyfriends and house husbands that I can't stand in Housewives history, Slade, Brooks, and Jbsayzwhat are the top of that list. They are the top three because I can't stand any of them. But neither here nor there. That's what John Jansen is just giving me. He's giving me Slade mixed with Brooks. And I still haven't forgiven Vicky for that whole situation with Brooks, even though that was years ago. Um, so yeah, after that, Tamara and Shannon had a conversation with each other, right? And I'm gonna say this because we're gonna come back to it a little bit later when we get to Tamara. Tamara is telling Shannon that her problem with her is that Shannon talks about her behind her back. Shannon said, "I didn't say anything about you behind your back." She said, because this goes back to, I guess, the Trace Amigas had did some kind of event, and Shannon was like, "We only do it when it's on Tamara's time." So she's saying that Tamara has an ego, which, let's be real, yes, Tamara has an ego. That ain't nothing to phone home about, Tamara, but whatever. But that's it for Heather's party. If I miss anything, feel free to leave it in the comments, you guys, and we'll go ahead on and we will move on to the next person. Like I said, I think she's very interesting, and I do like her so far. And that is going to be our newbie, Katie. Katie. I'm not trying to be funny or anything, but Katie has. So she's married to her husband, right? And Katie got three kids. No, she got three kids. She got three older kids and her son. Her son is with her husband, right? Now, when Katie was talking about that, her oldest, one of her other sons, is in San Diego because he wanted to finish school. She didn't say who he was with, but I'm not even going to assume. Then she said her other son is in Atlanta with his father, and I was like, okay, so you got one child that doesn't have the same father as your other kid, as your other ones. Then she talked about her daughter's father, who's not in her daughter's life. I was like, oh, okay. And I was wondering, I was like, ooh, this is no judgment, Katie. This is no judgment by no means. I was wondering, I was like, so is her oldest son got a different daddy? Because I was literally thinking to myself, Katie, you got four. Never mind. I was just thinking, I was like, I was literally listening to, like, it sounded like, well, I know for at least a fact she got three kids with three different men. But again, there ain't nothing wrong with that because I know people like that too. So again, I ain't passing no judgment on you, Katie girl. I just had questions. You don't have to answer them. I just had questions. Uh, so what else? We also found out that Katie is adopted. Her last name is, what did she say? Her last name is Katie Fletcher or something like that. So she has two. She has a brother and a sister. They were all of hers and her siblings were adopted by their parents who couldn't have kids. Right? I forgot what she said. I forgot what she said. Her mama got her brother and her sister from, but I forgot about that. But she's from Korea. Now I do have a lot of questions when it comes to her parents because she said that they didn't eat Korean food and they didn't do anything Korean in her house. And I was like, why would you adopt a child from Korea if you're not gonna do anything that? Never mind. Let me mind my business. What up, Tracy? You said I have questions in her taste in men, but who am I? I do too. I got a lot of questions about Katie. But again, I like Katie, so I ain't finna sit here and judge Katie, but I do like Katie. I do like her. I just, like I said, I just have a lot. I hope we delve deeper into Katie because she's an interesting one. She's definitely an interesting one. Um, but yes, so like I said, her daughter is there, her son with her husband is there, but like I said, her other two kids, one's in San Diego, one's in Atlanta. Remember, she doesn't speak Korean. She doesn't speak Korean. Ain't even hadn't really dealt with Korean food, but so when they go to Korean restaurants, her daughter orders for her. She feels kind of embarrassed. I was like, not you shouldn't feel embarrassed. I just have questions about your damn family. This is again nothing against your parents because I mean that's a big thing to adopt to adopt a child and love them as if they're your own. My only thing is, why would you adopt kids from different countries and not kind of at least teach your kids about where they come from. That's like I feel when it comes to white people who adopt black kids and don't teach their black kids about anything about their history. I just feel that way. Let me know what you guys think. Tracy says Katie definitely gives me things to think about. She sure does. Miss Baythang, hey, how are you? He said, hello, JB and Tracy. I don't watch OC like that, but I'm here for the comment. Oh, I appreciate you. Katie's family needs a 30 minutes. They need something because I need to know more about Katie's family. Really do. Because it's interesting. It's interesting. And again, like I say, that I'm saying is negative about Katie. I just have so many questions about her family, about her choice in men. Like, girl, do you have four baby daddies? Like, do you have four baby daddies? Because I think you do. And girl, there ain't nothing wrong with it. Oh, she's also a golf reporter. So she and her husband, that's how they met each other. They're both golf reporters. So cool. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about Katie. So far, I think Katie is gonna fit right in with some of these girls. There are some girls that we can get rid of, i.e., Gina and Emily, because I don't know what their storylines are this season, and I'm so confused. Let's go ahead and get to the treacherous one of them all. Tamra. Tamra. I got so many issues when it comes to Tamra. Like, I have so many issues when it comes to Tamra. Let me get to Tracy's comment. Tracy says, oh my God, I was thinking the same thing. She has to have all different, but she does. I didn't want to say it, but I'm like, I think she got four baby daddies. And ain't no judgment because I know some people who got more than that. So I ain't even, yeah, by Gina, definitely boo to Tamra. So we see Tamra and Eddie. Eddie, he's put up with Tamra for quite a long time. And it wouldn't have been me. So she's talking about her, Ava, her granddaughter, and Ryan, they're up in Big Bear. And I was like, you can go up there with them. You can go up to Big Bear. You can stay. We don't need you, Tamara. I know Tamara feels like them bring her back. The show has you know, gotten back to what it used to be. Not really, Tamara. Yes, this last few seasons sucked of OC, but let's not pretend like just because you're back, it just became better. Because I know that's probably I can just Tamara's a narcissist. Um, but Eddie wants to be in Big Bear full time. I was like, Eddie, how about you just drag her back up to Big Bear full time? But she says, no, I want to be an OC. I'm like, we know you want to be an OC. You want this check. Like, you're not fooling anybody. So then Tamara's sitting there telling, wait a minute, let me know in the comments. Ryan, is that the one that's the Trump supporter? Because I know I always forget which one is which. Is that the Trump supporter? Because I know she got Tamara's family. But she's talking about now. Here's the thing. I said keep in mind earlier what I was talking about at the party. She was talking about Shannon talking about her behind her back. But then when she's talking to Eddie, she's telling Eddie that she's upset with Shannon because Shannon is talking about she's sober, she's not drinking, or she maybe has one or two drinks. And I was like, Tamara, that's a damn lie. That's not what you said to Shannon. So get your lies together. You were talking about the fact that she was saying stuff about you with the Trace Amigas, which coincidentally, I know Tamara's not cool with Vicky right now. So Tamara, you're the problem. Like, let's just be real. Tracy says Eddie is a damn fool dealing with her. I absolutely 100% agree. So then she started talking about Jen's eviction. Jen, I'm gonna talk about you in just a minute because I got a lot of questions when it comes to Jen. I got a lot of questions because it's just very interesting when it comes to Jen. I do agree with Eddie and Tamara that she should not move in with Ryan, but unfortunately, she did move in with Ryan. But the reason why she moved in with Ryan is because she's not an independent woman. She's not self sufficient. She can't live by herself. Unfortunately, she needs someone to take care of her and her kids, which is so weird to me. and you're 46 years old, but you know, used to mommy and daddy taking care of everything for you, then you just become dependent on people taking care of you, which I think that's so weird to me because my mom took care of me from the time I was a kid till I was through college, but after that I became independent for myself. But different people. We're dealing with different people. But that's all we got with Tamra. So I guess we'll go ahead and move on to Shannon. So we get Shannon, and we see her with Jen and Katie, right? They went and worked out. Now, what I will say, Shannon, I love you down, girl. But let this be the last time you talk about John. I don't want to hear anything else about John. I don't give a damn about John and his teeth. I don't give a damn about John being with Jesus jugs. Let them do whatever they gonna do, right? So this is where we find out that Katie and her husband, they've been together for 7 years. They were both reporters for golf. And like I said earlier, when it comes to Katie, what's her name? Heather is going around. She did an interview with Bryce last week before the premiere, and she was talking about the fact that she feels as if Katie is Noella 1.0, 1.1.5, right? And she feels like Katie came onto the show not wanting to get to know her. I guess looking her up before she came on the show. I mean, could that be true? Possibly. Do I care? No, because I'm not a fan of Heather DeBrose. So I don't really care one way or the other, right? So they asked where they stand with the group, right? Jen has an issue with Gina. Shannon has an issue with Tamra, which we'll talk about that too in a little bit because it'll come up. Now, Jen's issue with Gina is the fact that Gina went back and told Tamra and Emily about her being evicted, which that'll come up again in the episode as well. But I was like, here's my thing. Jen, if you posted that you were moving out of the house on Instagram, you can't really be too mad at Gina. I don't feel that you can be that mad at Gina. But you guys let me know what you think, right? Now, is it professional for Gina to be doing some stuff like that? No, but this is y'all's friend group. This is the show. This is y'all's job. So I'm not gonna sit here and be like, "Oh, I'm pissed off at Gina. I'm upset with Gina," because I'm not really upset with Gina. But you guys, like I said, let me know what you think, right? So then the next thing with Shannon, we see her as she's meeting up with Heather for dinner. So Heather wanted to see how Shannon was because she felt that some of the line of questioning at her party towards Jesus jugs was inappropriate. I was like, I think all the questions were inappropriate, but you ain't saying nothing. You didn't say nothing to damn Tamara. Y'all asking her about the sex with John, and ugh. I know in last week's episode that Gina was talking about that she's heard that he is, well endowed. When it comes to John Jansen, I don't want to visualize that. I don't want to think about that. I don't want to see it. Absolutely not, right? So Heather asked Shannon if at the reunion last year that she was trying to take her down. And Shannon was like, no, I wasn't trying to do that. She said that Tamra told her that Heather was talking about her relationship with John and she got upset about it. And I can kind of see it, you know, especially the way in that with the first few episodes when when Shannon went to go apologize to Heather and Heather was basically giving her ass to kiss the way she treated Shannon the first half of last season. I I kind of believe it, but you guys tell me what you think. But they decided that they're going to take it one day at a time. So we'll see where things go between Shannon and Heather. Honestly, I don't care where it goes. Like I said, again, I am not a Heather Dubrow friend. Just not, she's not my girl. So we'll move on to the next person. Honestly, why is Emily still here too? At this point, I really feel like Emily and Gina are either blackmailing the hell out of somebody. Now, somebody did leave a comment last week that they've heard that Gina and Emily don't get paid that much. I wouldn't be shocked about that either, but I just really don't understand what Emily and Gina's purpose is on this show. But we see Emily. So Emily is meeting up with Gina and Shannon, right? So they're going to be having a flag football, and so she felt like they should get together and do a little practice, right? So Shannon asked Emily after they finished practicing who all is coming. She said, "Well, all of our group of friends." She said, "Even Alexis." She was like, "Yeah, even Alexis." And so she said she invited some other friends as well. Now they did talk, and Shannon told Gina and Emily that she's not proud of what happened with her drinking and all that kind of stuff, right? And she apologizes to Gina. And what I will say about Gina is this is big for Gina, because if you guys have not been watching OC and you don't know, Gina had a DUI. Shannon did help Gina with that DUI. And over the last few seasons, Shannon has really thrown that in Gina's face. And honestly, coming into this season, I really expected for Gina to basically get her lick back, but that's not what Gina's doing. Gina is showing grace and compassion to Shannon, which I think is big of her, right? And so Shannon apologizes to Gina. Gina accepted her apology. And, she told her she won't make things worse for Shannon. And I was like, that is really big of Gina. And it went downhill after that for Gina. Not really. I don't know if I would say it went downhill for me, because I kind of get where she's coming from with this whole situation with um Jen, but I do feel like she is doing the same thing to Jen that she claimed that not claims that she says that Shannon did to her. And I don't, it's a little bit hypocritical if we're going to be 100% honest with each other. But yeah, that's really all I got. Now let's go ahead and move on to the interesting person of this episode, my girl Jen. Jen. I have as many questions as I have for Katie. I got double that for you. So we finally see as Jen has moved into the house with Ryan, right? And like I said, hindsight got to be 2020 for her with his stuff that's going on with him. But the question that I have for Jen is, you're 46 years old. You got a gaggle of kids. And it seems like you have no responsibility for yourself, because her parents came over, right? And you still depend on your parents at 46 years old. Now, I get it, because my mom, when she was alive and my grandmother was alive, she would, if she needed something from my grandmother, she would go and ask her. And my grandmother, if she had it, would give it to her. But my grandmother didn't pay my mama's bills, do anything for her. Whereas with Jen, you got this house that you evicted from, you ain't paying your car note and all that kind of stuff. And it's just like, wow, girlfriend, what are you really doing with your life? And this is what I said. Some of this, I feel like it is WHITE privilege. I feel like some of it is privilege. I feel like some of it is the fact that maybe your parents sheltered you so much and they gave you everything that you wanted. And so you were never able to become an independent adult. But you're 46 years old with children of your own. And the question that I didn't have now is, what have you taught to your kids? Because right now you're not leading by a great example for your kids. And I hate to say that, but it just doesn't look good. So, she was crying to her parents, and I get it. Here's my thing, and I don't want this to sound like I'm beating up on her or attacking her, right? Because if you have parents and your parents are able to take care of you and help you out, there's nothing wrong with that. But my thing is, we're all going to get older. just like you're 46, I'm pretty sure your parents are probably in their retirement age. And I wouldn't want my parents to, like, I wouldn't want that, my parents to be taking care of me in retirement age. That is the time for them to sit down, relax, enjoy what however many years of life they have left to live, travel, see the world, and things of that nature. Not take care of your 46-year-old child. Again, Jen, this is not me passing any judgment against you. This is just me speaking out, just telling how I'm thinking, right? But like I said earlier, I you were on the right train of thought with not not wanting to move in with Ryan, and I still don't think that you should have moved in with him, especially with your kids. But hey, good luck to her. They're engaged too. He also got legal issues. Good luck, Jim. That's all I gotta say for you. And then you guys, we're gonna wrap up the episode with, how did I save Gina for last? But we're gonna wrap it up with Gina because Gina, the last part of the episode was interesting with Gina. So, Gina, the beginning of the episode, boring as hell. I was like, what is this scene? We see Gina as she's in real estate. So Gina was showing two of her clients a home. I was like, is this all that they had for Gina in this episode? This was all that y'all filmed of her that y'all could show us. I was like, what is this? Then we see Gina as she's talking to Emily, right? So she's talking to Emily about how irritated she is with this Jen situation. And like I said earlier, I get it. If she did a lot of stuff to help her get this house, it is like a slap in the face, and it is like you shitting on me because I did all this stuff for you, and now it's making me look bad, and I'm new in this industry, right? So I get that. But what I also will say when Gina is, I do feel like Gina was putting 20 on 10 a little bit, right? You can say how you feel, but my problem is with Gina, you've gone to Emily, you've gone to Tamra, and you have yet to go to Jen herself. Why not just, again, I know this is for the purpose of the show, but you should have had a conversation with her before now. Like, hey, what's up, girl? Like, I heard you got evicted from the house that I helped you get, that you didn't have to do a background check or credit check. I was like, damn. And you still got evicted. If somebody did that, that's a big favor. But like I said earlier, Gina, you're doing to her what Shannon did to you. So pot, meet the kettle, so to speak, right? Because you've been a little bit of a hypocrite. So then we see, as Gina met up with Shannon, not Shannon, but Emily and Katie, right? So Katie talked about the fact that Jen has moved in with Ryan. She's like, oh, so that's where she's living at. I didn't know where she moved to. Well, Gina, girl, you didn't need to know where she moved to because it had nothing to do with you. Like, shut up, Gina. Shut up. Like that had nothing to do with you. So then Katie told Katie. Now I can see Katie being a little messy, but I like it. So Katie told Gina that Jen was not happy that she had told Emily and Tamra about her being evicted, and Gina was like, it was all she put it on Instagram. So what do you want me to do? Like, she has more important issues to worry about, like how to pay her bills. I was like, you ain't lying there. She really doesn't need to worry about how to pay her bills. But again, like I said, if she's used to a certain lifestyle, then you can't really expect her to do much. But then like I said, what is she teaching? What values is she teaching her kids? But then Gina, let's talk about you real quick because you ain't really got a whole lot of room to judge her. Because you was in her boat a few years ago. Now I know you're talking about you're working now, but Gina, you were in the same boat when you and Matt broke up. That is why you and Travis live together currently. So go on somewhere, Gina. Go on somewhere. So then we see Gina and Jen meet up for coffee. When Jen came in, her hair was done, her makeup was done, and she had on some nice clothes, right? And Gina immediately noticed that, and she was like, I see that she went and got her hair done. Her makeup is done. For someone who can't pay their bills, I would think you wouldn't do that. And I was like, Gina, everybody, and I caught myself because I was going to tweet it last night. I was like, Gina, have you forgotten that there was quite a few seasons where your hair was looking horrible? But then I caught myself like, you know what, Gina finna catch a straight for no reason, and Gina just caught a straight for no reason because I got where she was coming from. But I like Gina, everybody's not you. Everybody's not you. Everybody don't want to be on TV looking the way that you looked for seasons. Like I will never forget. I'm so glad I was so happy when they changed these title cards for Gina, because with Gina and that blue dress and that hair, I was like, who did Gina like that? And then Jen mentioned it in her interview because Gina brought it up to her, and Jen was like, "You looked. Let's not forget how you looked." I was like, "Oh my god!" I was like, I was thinking it, but I didn't want to necessarily say it out loud. But she did, right? She did, and I was here for it. But Gina got upset with Jen because now Gina, you did kind of take it a little far because you don't know anything and stuff like that. I was like, oh Gina, you kind of going a little bit low. But hey, I get it. You pissed off. You're frustrated that I did this for you as a friend, and this is the things that I get. You get evicted from the place that I helped you get. Again, I get it. But let's be real, Gina. Pot, me kettle, because I think you're doing the same. I don't think you're doing the same thing that Shannon did to you. That is it, you guys. Um, yeah, if there's anything that I did miss, let me know in the comment section, you guys. And that is it. I hope you guys have a wonderful Friday. Like I said earlier, I'm going to get off of here and we're going to do the Real Housewives of Dubai. And then after that, I have to rewatch, not rewatch, I didn't even watch it, watch Sisters. And then tonight, Family Empire Houston will be up. And let's get into the blogs and They Cutting the Fool. I have those up all tomorrow. Sisters, let's get into the blogs and They Cutting the Fool. Those should be up tomorrow morning sometime. And that is it, you guys. But as always, you guys, I appreciate everybody who came through and watched. Be sure to like the live, subscribe to the channel, turn your post notifications, you guys, and share the video, you guys. And until the next time, please stay safe out there. Take care of yourselves, you guys. Wash your hands, be blessed, and I'll see you guys for something else. Bye, guys.